Good dog, and welcome back to the Norwegian campaign in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. We're once again fighting the German Navy. I'm not sure what kind of government they've revolutionized themselves to now, but it's a new one, I think. We got two of these British-built battlecruisers, and we're facing the ship that must not sink. And it must not sink because it is, as far as I know, the last 140,000 ton super battleship that the Germans have. And I want that thing as war operations when the war is over. It's not amazing as it is, but I think with a refit it could be pretty nice. And I just do not have the ability to build a ship of this size myself. So that makes it valuable. Makes it worth keeping alive. It's almost in range. I want to like fire off a couple of rounds, just damage it, and then retreat. I am quite a bit faster. It's not slow actually, for a ship of that size. Almost 29 knots. With regular turbine engines. And it is now in range. Such a big target, they should fire even with the gun set to save. There we go, one salvo. Did not hit. Another salvo, all misses. That's gonna hit. There we go, a bit of flooding. Let's see how serious that flooding develops. That should be quite serious. I think it's gonna spread. No, maybe not. No, yes. I can see it's building up here. With the extra beam and draft, it's got some bonuses to its flooding resistance. Anyway, I'm just gonna say that's enough for that ship for this time, and keep evading it. So there we are, playing with my food a little bit, but yeah, it's gonna be a nice prize. This one, however, we're just gonna sink it. And I decided to let the battleships in this task force take the day off, or the month off, rather, because they do need to replenish some ammunition as well. At least a couple of the battleships are a bit low, so we're just gonna let the cruisers take care of this. It shouldn't be too much of a challenge for them. The German Lübeck class light cruiser is not exactly the most impressive ships we've come across. Yeah, they're all veterans. Oh, the German main guns have blown up. Not that they were that threatening to begin with. Being only 5-inch guns. And there we go. Kind of a foregone conclusion how that battle was going to go. But if it has to be fought, it has to be fought. We got a single DD. Are we up for a DD duel? I think we are. I think one of the J-38s should be able to take this on. And it just so happened one of them spawned in. Not in a division, but by itself. So J-3805 is today's lucky ship. She gets to fight the V-10. Let's see, German torpedoes might be worth taking note of. I think these are standard. Yes. 0.5 inches of armor on the main belt. 0.2 most other places. Few bulkheads. And they've got 4 single 5.2 inch guns. And some 2.4 inch guns as secondaries. I mean, that's not bad, really. What's the price tag of this thing? 189 million. I mean, it's not bad. It's pretty decent. It's just, it would be more scary with long-range torpedoes. Well, more scary if I was facing it with an entire task force. But my task force is running away. We're leaving this to 3805. Which should be well equipped to take this on in a gunfight. We got 9 5.9 inch guns. Radar guided. Automatic reload. There we go. Enemy has launched torpedoes. So we're gonna maneuver a little bit. And okay, let's wait until not most of the ship is sticking out of the water. There we go. It's not that much better, is it? Maybe if I like just kind of zoom in. Take a picture from the bridge. Ah, that's tricky. You can almost get it. There go the enemy torpedoes. Let's get my own torps in the water. Oh, flash fire, that's unlucky. That is very unlucky. That has reduced my firepower by quite a bit. How the heck are they so much more accurate? Because they got single guns? I mean, that accuracy modifier shouldn't be that impactful, surely. There we go. Payback. With some flash fires on the enemy DD as well. Come on, let me click you. Down you. They've got some working turrets, but their field of fire isn't that good. There we go. Engine damage. And some more flooding. This should have been an easier fight, I feel, but that early flash fire was pretty unlucky. I thought I had an almost 0% flash fire chance on these, but I guess almost zero isn't quite zero. Let's get a little bit closer and put those 2-inch guns to use. There we go. The 2-inch guns have joined in. Got a couple of twins on either side. They've got more engine damage and more flooding. And we're kind of racking up the damage. And there she goes. Nice. That looked a little bit dicey for a second. Alright, so we got that naval invasion going on. Got a convoy and a battle light cruiser on light cruiser. This shouldn't be a problem. Britain is trying to invade Western Germany. That's not gonna work. They don't have the numbers. Where is this German battleship heading to? Southeast Asia. Okay, this is now at 0. Because this one DD is, well, not sufficient. That is the remainder of the American task force that sank my battleships. Let's see here. I've got these. They have ammunition. So they're gonna go down here. And hopefully fight the big task force and not the single light cruiser. These battleships are a little bit low on ammunition. But they've got the tonnage, so they can participate in this naval invasion here. Now, sadly, I think the combined American and German armies will take New Brunswick before this naval invasion concludes. Not really that much I can do about that. But in the meantime, we're gonna sink some ships. More light cruiser on light cruiser action with some transports to snack on as dessert. If we can sink that light cruiser, that is. There we go. Gefion spotted. It's one of the Liebecks. It's not that. Ooh, okay. Good thing I noticed that, or I would be in for a pretty nasty surprise. Those transports carry torpedoes. It's not that often you see that. Of course, now the enemy light cruiser hit the transport I wanted to aim at. So who knows where those torpedoes will end up. Let's see, they've got 17.6 kilometer torpedo range. I could go for the transports first, just knocking them out at long range. My 7.5 inch guns should be capable of doing that. Actually, no, they're not that effective. Because they're overpenning. Because the enemy transports have no armor. So best way of dealing with them is actually getting closer and using the 2-inch guns. Their flinger is having flash fires, but it's not really doing much to the seaworthiness of that transport. Let's see if they end up launching something. Have the main guns aimed at Gefjon, and secondaries on Lothringen as we close in. Lothringen has surrendered. Gefjon is taking pretty big hits from my 7.5-inch guns. Let's get my 2-inch guns in range of their flinger. See, none of these guys are launching yet. Their flinger has surrendered. Elsass is next. Gefjon has sunk, so now I can put the main guns to use as well on the transports. If this had been one of my more modern light cruiser with the 3-inch secondaries, would have been so much more effective at dealing with these transports. But there we go. And I think that's all the enemy transports actually surrendered, not sunk. Well, they count as sunk, but let's pretend having them surrender is better. Maybe they carried something important. And here we go. Tangrisnir versus Lübeck. Or Skule versus Wiesbaden. If we're going by the ship names and not the class names. All right. Let's see what we can do here. We got 12 7.5-inch guns in quadruple turrets. Where's the... oh, there's the enemy. I was wondering why am I not getting the enemy ship spotted pop up, but they were spotted from the start. I just wasn't looking at them. That's my fault. And here they come. Let's drop down to our only 24 knot cruising speed. Or 25. Let's get some torps off. Already scoring some decent hits. Those torpedoes might actually hit. Maybe. This one might. Oh, it was so close. Well, let's go with AP here. There we go. Isn't that better? And there we go, even getting some, no, it's still loading AP. I saw penetration and I wondered if that was an HE penetration, but... yeah, this is the kind of outmatching I was expected. At 7,000 meters, yeah, we can go through their armor. But it actually surrendered as well, and that, I think, was mainly down to the secondary guns just raking the crew. Alright, let's see about naval invasions. Now, they are a center party democracy now. Well, still got 100% support for the Nationalist Party. The US currently has a center party, but they are rebellious. Rebellious and humiliated, so who knows what will happen there. We're 4 months away from getting the Mark V 20-inch guns. Transport capacity is still pretty good. Still very good, actually. You don't have the tonnage for this, America. I, however, do have the tonnage for this. So I should be able to take southern China. Germany only has an army force of 214 in the entirety of southern China. How are they holding that with that few men? Yes, this fleet. Let's invade something Russian. Kamchatka. That's here. Petropavlovsk should be the region. These are not very valuable territories. Like, not at all. I think I can just pick up these from war operations, actually. Invasion of northern Russia is going well. Even the army is advancing. What kind of... oh, army logistics 2%. Very nice, Russia. Very nice. Okay, so that was it for the month of December 1947. Let's see then what happens in 1948. And no thanks to your alliances. Striking that port, striking this port, and this port. And here we go. Let's take revenge. These are some very expensive heavy cruisers. Ah, they're different clauses. Okay, so Virginia has 15 10.1-inch guns, while Famous has 7 6.2-inch guns. They have no more capital ships in this task force because we did sink their battlecruiser last time we encountered these guys. Oh, that's a refit. That's very slow. Okay, so they refit them to make them cheaper. 1 billion instead of 2. But also much, much, much slower. Alright. Yeah, that's a lot of cruisers and DDs, alright? But they don't have capital ships. I wonder, do they still have the Gyat? Or did we sink that one? Alright. Battlecruisers. Battleships. I got 2 DDs here. Dog and Hottie. I guess they can just follow the battlecruisers for now. We've got 2 different types of DDs, so we're just gonna join them all together. Pick out the 2 J38s and detach them like this. And torpedoes off until I need them. I will of course try to open up with some solid torpedo volleys straight into the massive blob of enemy ships, which is a little bit less massive now than last time we encountered it. We didn't sink that many ships back then, but I think quite a few of them got teleported to port for repairs. Alright, everyone is forming up. Fine. We got plenty of ammo. Maybe a bit more AP than needed. Yeah, I keep forgetting that a balanced loadout of ammunition is already biased towards AP. So increased AP. Let's see here. Alright. Main shells, standard ratio. You can see there's a lot more AP than HE. These ones with increased AP, a lot more AP than HE. So if you want 50-50, I wonder, is increased HE, is that closer to 50-50? Increased HE. It's not quite 50-50, but it's closer. For some reason you can't see that in the ship designer because it doesn't update live. For some reason. 16s have opened up. Let's pick out some big targets for the 16s. Let's not have them fire at DDs. But I guess the enemy formation is hidden in smoke because they got so many DDs and light cruisers. that their smoke is almost always up. Yeah, see here? Really smoke show, I guess you can call it. I wonder if the yacht is here somewhere. Guess we're gonna find out sooner or later. We're closing to within torpedo range. But with the enemy doing these kind of maneuvers, torpedo hits might be difficult. Okay, so those are torpedo targets for the J-38s. Now let's do the Vikings. Let's not forget to maneuver the capital ships as well. Let's not forget to pick out targets for them. Like so. And now the DDs. Was there a yacht here? I think we sunk it last battle. Or it's in for repair, maybe. Okay. You've got targets. Let's see if I made good choices picking out those targets. Guess we'll only find out when those torpedo hit counters start going up. Enemy torpedoes aimed at my J-38s. Doran sinks. We got 14 so far. 17. A couple of dud torpedoes here and there. $20. Oh, here comes the big swarm. Show hasn't even started yet. Only quite a few of them are duds, given that the angles they're hitting at are quite steep. Okay, 27. 28. Good. Let's get these battlecruisers back in the fight. quite in range yet. The Vikings can stick around until they've reloaded. Uh, 3812 took quite a bit of damage, but she might survive yet. 3811, much better off, almost intact. These battleships have done some damage. And they're still doing damage. If they can only just stop defaulting to targeting enemy DDs. I want them taking out those heavy cruisers. Yeah, you're not so tough when you're not just beating up on some 40-year-old dreadnoughts, are you? Now my battlecruisers, they can target DDs. Like so. We're gonna keep closing in. These battleships have a lot of 8-inch guns that could also be put to use. Start taking out some light cruisers here. The big 16s. Vikings, don't run away. You have a job still. Uh, 3812 did not get away. 3811 has reloaded and can come back, avenge her sister. Once again, I got both 16-inch armed battleships, focusing a single DD. So I guess I just have to kind of stay on top of this targeting nonsense. No, there is Giat. Oh yeah, all 4 of my battlecruisers focusing the same DD. That's very very helpful. Which was, of course, the same DD that my battleships were firing at. And are firing at again because the light cruiser I picked out for them went invisible. And again. There you go, one of the battlecruisers score a hit on Cogswell and Gyat. So we might get these still. And we're now getting close enough that the radars should be able to burn through their smoke, so to speak. Secondaries can target those DDs when they close in. And my DDs are also on approach. This one was out of torpedoes last time I checked too, so it did not just launch. Yup, goes down. Gyat got rizzed. Savannah sinks. James Owens will also sink. Alright, destroyer time. Come here. This way. America sinks. New Orleans sinks. Viking 24, you gotta detach, mate. Target, Dyer. Alright, torpedo targets. Des Moines. That is your target. Vikings. California. Cogswell? I'm a little bit hesitant at launching at these ships here because, well, I don't want to hit my own gun line. But I think we should be okay. I think we should be okay. J3811, you've not launched yet. There we go. You have launched now. Everyone can just detach and go home on their own. And there we go. We're scoring torpedo hits. Quite a few of them. And we lost Viking 18. Back to the gun line. Torpedoes should not have enough range to continue on and hitting my my big ships. I don't think so. I think we should be safe. That was a pretty good... Yep. We're safe. Nothing to worry about. That was a pretty good torpedo attack. With this much flooding going on among the American ships, they're kind of just trapped here. We can continue circling them. The AI, as far as I know, they never take ships out of a division. So if one ship in a division gets damaged and has to slow down, the rest of them have to slow down as well. Helge Ingstad, Helge Jordal, Amundsen Nansen, Surtol, Gungnir. The 16s have plenty of ammo left. And the 15s too, actually, because they've spent so much of the battle just out of range. I think that's the end of Reno. Took 10,000 damage in that hit. And Cincinnati as well. And if I need them, I got these two light cruisers following me around. This should be quite a few victory points, given how expensive some of those heavy cruisers were. they had battleship price tags almost. Well, they did have battleship price tags. Canberra and Roster are continuing on. They've not taken too much flooding, and they're not being held back by anyone in their division. So I think my battlecruisers might have to kick it into high gear and try and catch up. My battleships can actually slow down and just continue on straight ahead at the enemy, because their main strength is they got all their guns facing forwards. Well, almost all of them. They do have an X turret, but 80% of their firepower is aimed straight ahead, so they don't really need to be going broadside to fire. That's a lot of firepower going straight ahead. Alright. And Dyer is dying. Both of you focus Honolulu. You can actually speed up a little bit. Let's stick to like 25 knots. Not quite their maximum cruising speed, but they do. They should be getting some kind of bonus out of that. Okay. The enemy ships are once again closing in. Noted. So now's the time to go broadside with the battlecruisers. Have them unload. I don't want these guys coming in and ruining my day with their torpedoes. Long goes down. And Gangsta loses her tower. They're doing a lot of damage to that battlecruiser with their 10.1 inch guns, Canberra and Rochester. Fine. Do some damage in return. What kind of torpedo range are we looking at here? 12.2. Goodrich goes down. And these should be the last two. Canberra goes down. And Rochester. Alright. A little bit of damage taken by Helge Ingstad towards the end there, but that is still 32 American ships sunk, for the loss of 2 of my DDs. I mean, that's not bad. And 1,000,000 victory points. Very nice. So when time comes, it's this guy again. Still not in port for repairs. Do I just withdraw? Yes. And one Lützow class heavy cruiser. Let's just do this one quickly before ending the episode. And my battlecruisers have almost come into range. There they are. Märta opens up first. Venäminen and Ilmarinen, not quite the same range with their 14s, but Maud bringing up the rear is also opening up. There go the 14s as well. And will we get an A-turret flash fire on the enemy cruiser? Not unlikely. Let's see. Just in case I decide not to go with the DD, the destroyer from the first battle, as the thumbnail, you can go with this one. First Bismarck still has her A-turret. For now. There she goes. Was that the A-turret? I think it was. Of course it was. It always seems to be. And we get overpens and partial pens. And blocks and ricochets. Quite enough pen at this range to go through her main belt. Well, we can go through her main belt, but the inner layers. 3.2 times 4, that would be 12.8. So yeah, 20,000 we should have enough, but add some angle to that and it becomes a bit trickier. But we're getting it done though. Yeah, difference in damage between the 16s and the 14s. Quite substantial. She's gonna sink, and there she goes. There's quite a bit of ammo expended. Right. And with that, that was enough battles for January of 1938. Let's see, and I'm attacking Belarus. And I have taken southern China. That is, of course, very nice. I should be able to take Belarus, given that they have pretty piss poor army logistics. These battlecruisers need to move up here because we are taking northeast China next. Let's see, how are things going? We're gonna do this one next. Oh wow. 3 DDs, excuse me, 3 light cruisers versus 1 heavy cruiser. That's not a very good matchup. It says 0% here. Helge Ingstad teleported for repair. She wasn't that badly damaged. Well, I guess. 95% here. Yeah, America, you don't have the tonnage. That is for sure. How much tonnage do you have left now? 274,000. It's not that much. How about Germany? You're getting up there again. Now, where and who to invade this month? Yeah, of course. The Black Sea. Also, did I start a naval invasion here? I did. That is being conducted. So, should we take... I guess my army is in the process of taking Romania already. Ukraine, Crimea, southern Russia. Germany is back to being the Reich. I mean, let's do Crimea first, just because that kind of makes sense. And we're already placed there. But that's enough for this episode. Transport capacity is still good. Research being conducted. Everything is fine except for the army invasions that we can't do anything about, other than hope they can somehow be delayed long enough for this to go through. Goodbye, and take care.